It is with great pleasure that I introduce to you our guest speaker tonight, Karen Harrington, who is running against one of President Obama's main backers and supporters, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, in Florida's important 20th Congressional District. I hear it's the Moskowitz District, so for sure, Karen, you're a winner. She has been one of Israel's staunchest supporters, and I might add, a very good friend, dear friend, Michelle Bachmann. As a matter of fact, Karen almost brought Michelle tonight, but because of this debate, Michelle couldn't be here. But I guarantee you, she would have liked to have been here as well. She has been, as I'm saying, Karen Harrington has been one of Israel's staunchest supporters, and I guarantee you, if God willing elected, she will be one of Israel's greatest friends. And that's clear because she is here tonight. And that's a special testimony. When people come out all the way from Florida to make sure that they come to the Hebron dinner, and I guarantee you this is going to happen more and more. Karen's one of the leaders. When you see people of this magnitude coming out here this late, all the way from Florida, I think that says a lot about Hebron and where the Jewish people of Hebron and the Hebron Fund are going and coming from. It's an amazing feat that you've accomplished tonight, and you should all be proud of that fact. We must do everything we can to assure that Karen Harrington gets elected the next time around in 2012. Without further ado, Karen Harrington, next Congresswoman in the 20th District of the great state of Florida.
In the couple hours that I've spent here, I've gotten an opportunity to know so many of you. And not only have you given me a brief history of Hebron, but you showed me the side of the compassion and the love that you have, and that you value your family, your religion, your country, and your God. And for that, I am truly grateful to be here this evening. I would like to thank the Hebron Fund and Ari Lieberman for inviting me here tonight and giving me this opportunity so that you may get to know me a little bit better and know where I stand with Israel in our relationship as it pertains to the United States. Again, my name is Karen Harrington, and I'm a congressional candidate for U.S. Congress. Since its formation as a sovereign nation state in 1948, U.S.-Israel relations have gone through their share of diplomatic rifts and rows. And through them all, a special bond has endured between the citizens of the United States and the Middle East's only democratic state. However, during the course of the past 3 years, U.S.-Israel relations have suffered behind the scenes to a degree that should leave all of those who value our long-standing ties and national security of Israel very concerned. America and Israel have always been connected through our shared religious beliefs, spiritual beliefs, and desire for freedom and peace. We are living in a very dangerous time, and Barack Obama's doctrine has sought to appease the enemies of Israel while placing Israel's national security at risk. Since its creation, Israel has been under a constant state of attack from its neighbors. No nation on earth has had to endure this or would ever tolerate it, so no nation has the right to demand that of Israel. Right now, the regime of Iran, led by Ahmadinejad, is attempting to develop a deliverable nuclear weapon, and the latest IAEA report states that Iran presently possesses all that is required to make a viable nuclear device. Iranian regime has stated it intends to destroy Israel, hoping that the rest of the world will leave Israel to fend for itself. The possible result in the extent of casualties resulting from such a military engagement are unimaginable. As unpleasant as it is to name names and assign responsibility, difficult times dictate that principled people must act with courage. Not only is President Barack Obama not a true friend of Israel, but his right-hand woman, Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, is his enabler and being thoroughly disingenuous about the level of animosity President Obama has held towards Israel throughout his presidency. Actions speak louder than words. Time and again in the Middle East, Obama has engaged with adversaries who threaten Israel's existence daily. The Muslim Brotherhood, the Iranian regime. The Obama administration has destroyed our nation's credibility and sided with regimes that do not have Israel's best interests in mind. The Obama administration has changed our policy towards Israel from one of strategic ally to one of neutrality, placing our relationship with Israel on a par with every other nation in the Middle East, including those rogue regimes that actively sponsor terrorism. That means we will abandon Israel to its own defense if it were to be attacked, which invites its enemies to commit aggression against it, seeing that we may not offer it military assistance. This reckless policy change is proof positive of this administration's willful contempt of Israel, its sovereignty, and its national security. President Obama's recently demands that Israel must concede its right to defensible borders of a precondition for peace negotiation is not only an insult, it is proof positive of President Obama's contempt towards Israel, and it must be adamantly rejected. There will be no peace in the Middle East without effectively marginalizing the enablers and the practitioners of terrorism. Israel must be allowed the freedom to chart its own path to peace with its neighbors as it safeguards its security and borders. The current Palestinian Authority does not truly want a two-state solution. They want a single-state solution. A solution where they exist and the state of Israel is slowly or summarily eradicated. There already is a two-state solution in place, and it is called Israel and Jordan. We must allow Israel to govern its own affairs and stop dictating to it where it can build settlement as it pursues peace in the region. And yet, my opponent, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, will look directly into the camera and tell you that there is absolutely no tension between President Obama and Prime Minister Netanyahu, or that we haven't effectively engaged in a reckless moral equivalence that puts Israel on equal standing with rogue regimes and terrorist-sponsoring organizations. Debbie has not signaled any disagreement at all with the President Obama's diplomatic rejection and humiliation of Israel, much less the President's concrete actions, which have marginalized our strategic relationship with Israel and needlessly endangered its national security.